The moon of Eldarian shone brightly in the dark sky. It was not just a moon, it was a place where many alien species met to learn, talk, and live together. This place was called the Galactic Unity Academy. Here, young beings from many planets studied science, history, and peace. The academy was big and full of life. Princess Virelia walked through the hallways of the academy. She was the princess of the Zenthra people, tall and graceful, with shining blue skin and eyes that seemed to hold the stars. But Virelia was not proud or cold like many thought princesses could be. She was curious and kind. She wanted to understand the many creatures of the galaxy, especially the humans. Humans were strange to the other aliens. Many said they were weak. They did not have strong claws, sharp teeth, or powerful magic like others. But humans had something different, a strange strength that came from inside. Virelia wanted to know more. Her eyes often looked at one human student, in particular Leo Kane. Leo was quiet and calm. He did not speak much or show much emotion. He kept to himself and watched the world with dark eyes. Some students whispered that he was hiding something. Others said he was just shy. But Virelia felt there was more to him. One day, the Academy held a special event, a debate between teams from different planets. The debate was about how to keep peace in the galaxy. Virelia was chosen to lead the Zenthra team. She wanted Leo to join her team. She believed his silence might hide great ideas, Leo, she said softly, as she found him sitting alone in the garden. Will you join my team for the debate? Leo looked up slowly. His eyes were calm but deep. He nodded once. I will, he said quietly. Virelia smiled. She felt a spark of hope. The day of the debate arrived. The great hall was full of many species. Some had many arms, some had wings, and some looked like shining light. The debate began with many loud voices, each side proud of their own ideas. When it was Leo's turn to speak, everyone was quiet. No one expected much, but then Leo spoke. His voice was soft but clear. The galaxy is like a river, he said. If we fight, we block the flow. But if we listen, we let the river carry us forward. His words were simple but strong. They made many stop and think. Even the proudest leaders in the hall were silent. Virelia looked at Leo with surprise and respect. She saw that his quiet words held power to change minds without shouting or anger. The debate ended with the Zenthra team praised for their calm and wise words. Virelia was happy. She wanted to know more about Leo's quiet strength. Later, Virelia took Leo to the training arena. The academy taught students not only to talk, but also to understand their own planet's culture and defense. Every student was asked to show a weapon from their home. It was a tradition to honor their history. Most students had colorful, strange weapons. Some were glowing blades. Some were crystal bows. When it was Leo's turn, he did not step forward. Virelia asked again, Leo, please, show us your weapon. Leo looked at her, then slowly nodded. He walked to the center of the arena and took out a simple metal rod. It looked plain compared to the others. The students whispered and laughed quietly. They did not understand. Virelia felt a strange feeling. She saw something different in Leo's Izakam that did not fear judgment. Leo lifted the rod and moved. He did not swing or hit. Instead, he danced slow, flowing movements that told a story. His hands and feet moved in harmony. It was not a fight. It was a peaceful dance of strength and control. The students stopped laughing. They watched in silence. The teachers looked amazed. Virelia felt a warmth in her heart. She understood Leo's weapon was not just a tool to hurt. It was a symbol of history and hope. After the training, Virelia asked Leo quietly, "Where did you learn to move like that?" Leo looked at the ground. "My planet remembers," he said softly. Virelia wanted to ask more, but she knew some stories were hard to tell. She promised herself to learn everything. That night, far from the academy, a shadowy figure reported, "The human has drawn his weapon. Earth's secret may awaken." Virelia did not know what this meant yet, but she felt the quiet calm of Leo was the calm before a great storm. The sun rose slowly over Eldarion, casting soft golden light through the tall windows of the Galactic Unity Academy. The students gathered again in the training arena, a large space filled with strange weapons from many worlds. This was a place where they learned not only to defend themselves, but to understand the history behind their weapons. Each weapon told a story. Princess Virelia stood at the edge of the arena, waiting for Leo Kane to appear. She could still remember how he moved the simple metal rod the day before. His movements were quiet and peaceful, but full of power. Today she hoped to learn more. One by one, students stepped forward to show their weapons. Zenthra warriors displayed their glowing blades with proud movements. The Cathari raised their crystal bows, their fingers moving fast and sure. Other students showed strange and beautiful weapons, hammers that floated in the air, spears that shimmered with energy, and whips made of light. Then it was Leo's turn. He walked slowly to the center, holding the simple metal rod. The other students whispered again, some even laughed softly. They did not understand why Leo would bring such a plain weapon, but Leo did not pay attention. He closed his eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. Then he began to move. At first, his movements were slow and smooth, like a river flowing around stones. He stepped lightly, his rod weaving in patterns that looked like a dance. But it was more than dance. Each motion was precise, full of meaning. The students watched in silence. The arena was filled with a strange calm. Virelia could feel something inside her change. The metal rod was not just a weapon. It was a story of struggle, strength, and peace. The teachers whispered among themselves. One of them said quietly, "This is Earth's ancient way, peaceful but strong." When Leo finished, he stood still. His breathing was calm. The students looked at him with new respect. After the training, Virelia approached Leo. "Your movements are beautiful," she said softly. "Where did you learn them?" Leo looked at her and smiled for the first time. "For my people," he said. "We call it the way of the sword. It is not for fighting others, but for fighting the darkness inside ourselves." Virelia was surprised. She never thought of a weapon like that before. "Your sword is different from ours," she said. "It is not just strength or power. It is peace." Leo nodded. "On Earth, we believe true strength comes from control and respect. Our swords are tools to remind us of our past." Virelia wanted to know more. She asked, "Tell me about your past, Leo. Why is it hidden?" Leo's eyes grew distant. "Long ago, Earth was different. We fought many wars. We learned that fighting others only brought more pain, so we changed. We stopped using weapons to hurt. Instead, we used them to remember." Virelia was curious, but knew Leo would only tell her more when he was ready. That evening, Virelia went to the Academy's great library. She searched the old records for anything about Earth. She found dusty books and faded holovids, but much was missing. The galaxy had forgotten Earth's true story. She found one record about a treaty called the Silent Pact. It was made a century ago between Earth and many alien worlds. The treaty was about peace, truth, and memory. But it had been erased. From many histories, Virelia felt a chill. Why would such a treaty be forgotten? The next day, as Virelia and Leo walked through the gardens, she asked him, "What is the Silent Pact?" Leo looked at her seriously. "It was a promise," he said. "A promise that we would remember the past, so we do not repeat mistakes." But some in the galaxy did not want to remember. Virelia frowned. "Why?" "Because truth can be hard to face," Leo said softly. "Sometimes it is easier to forget." Just then, an alert sounded through the academy. The voice of the High Counselor came through the speakers. "Attention, all students. A counselor from the Galactic Council will arrive soon to observe recent events. All are to be prepared." Virelia felt a sudden tension. She looked at Leo. His calm face did not change. That night, Leo sat alone in his room, staring at the simple rod resting on the table. He remembered the words of his father spoken long ago on Earth. "True strength is not in violence," his father said. "It is in holding the weight of memory, so that others may live in peace outside shadows." Moved near the academy, Unknown eyes watched Leo. The galaxy was beginning to remember Earth again, and with it, a power that could change everything. The library of the Galactic Unity Academy was a quiet place. Tall shelves held books and holovids from thousands of planets and ages. It was a place where history lived. Princess Virelia sat at a large table, her blue eyes scanning ancient texts about Earth and its past. She was determined to learn the truth. The story of the Silent Pact, the treaty Leo had mentioned, was hidden deep inside these old records. But many pages were missing or damaged. It was as if someone had tried to erase Earth from the galaxy's memory. Virelia's heart beat faster. Why would the galaxy forget Earth's role in peace? Why hide such an important treaty? Her fingers brushed over a thin, worn book with faded letters. Inside, she found a story of a great war that had almost destroyed many worlds. The war was called the Great Silence War because after it, many species stopped speaking openly about it. According to the records, Earth had been the key to ending the war. Humans had used words and patience, not weapons. They had brought leaders together and asked them to remember their mistakes. But then, the records said, Earth had vanished from galactic politics. They withdrew behind a great shield and stopped, sharing their knowledge. No one knew why. Virelia's mind raced. She looked again at the pictures of old Earth soldiers, humans, dressed in simple clothes, holding their swords calmly, not for war, but as symbols. She felt a deep respect for Leo's people. They had suffered but chosen peace. Virelia was not alone in her search. Far away, in a dark room beneath the academy, a counselor watched her through hidden cameras. The counselor was tall and stern, with skin like polished stone. His name was Thaler, and he was sent by the Galactic Council to investigate the human student. Thaler's voice was cold as he spoke to a shadowy figure on a communication screen. The human has stirred old memories. We must be careful. The Silent Pact may change everything. Back in the academy, Virelia found Leo sitting quietly in the garden. She sat beside him. Why did Earth hide? She asked softly. Leo looked at the stars. Because the galaxy was not ready to face the truth. Truth? Virelia asked. Earth's memory weapon is not a blade or gun, Leo said. It is the truth of our past, the mistakes we made, and the pain we caused. It is hard to carry. Virelia nodded slowly. And you carry it now? Leo smiled sadly. Yes, I am a messenger. I carry Earth's memory so the galaxy can learn without repeating our errors. Why show your weapon now? Virelia asked. Because the galaxy is changing, Leo said. There is hope. But there is also danger. That danger was real. The lore was already making plans to confront Leo. The next day, Virelia invited Leo to a meeting with her advisors. She wanted to protect him and understand his past better. The advisors were curious but cautious. They asked Leo many questions about Earth, the Silent Pact, and the memory weapon. Leo answered calmly, never. Hiding or lying, he told them about Earth's final decision to leave the galaxy. To watch and wait until peace was truly possible. He spoke of humans who trained to hold the weight of memory without anger or fear. Virelia saw the truth in his eyes. She believed in Leo and his mission. But not everyone agreed. Some students whispered that humans were too weak, that their past was a threat to peace. They did not understand the power of memory. That evening, the Academy received a message from the Galactic Council. The Counselor Thaler would arrive soon for a special inquiry. Virelia felt the weight of this news. She worried for Leo, but knew she had to stand by him. She found Leo in the training arena again, holding his simple rod. Are you ready? She asked. Leo looked at her with calm determination. I have never been more ready. The galaxy was about to face the truth, and Leo was the key. The day was bright, but the mood inside the royal hall of Eldarion was tense. Princess Virelia stood tall, her blue skin glowing softly under the light. Around her, the room was filled with the leaders and advisors of many species dressed. In their colorful uniforms, their faces a mix of curiosity and concern. At the center stood Leo Kane. the quiet human whose calm had started to shake the galaxy. The hall's doors opened with a low hum. Counselor Thaler entered, his sharp eyes scanning the room. His voice was firm and cold as he spoke. "Leo Kane, you stand accused of violating the peace code by drawing Earth's forbidden weapon in the Academy. Explain yourself." Leo met Thaler's gaze without fear. His voice was calm and steady. "I did not violate peace. I showed the past. I showed truth." Thaler's eyes narrowed. "The galaxy has banned Earth's memory weapon. Its power is too great. It can stir anger, fear, and war." Leo shook his head. "No, it carries pain, but also healing. Earth fought many wars to learn that strength is not violence. Our weapon is a symbol, a reminder." Princess Varelia stepped forward. "I have seen Leo's weapon. It is not a tool of war, but a tool of peace. It holds the history of Earth's sacrifice and hope." The council murmured. Some were surprised. Some were still doubtful. Thaler turned to Varelia sharply. "You defend him? Why?" Varelia looked at Leo and then back at the council. "Because the galaxy needs to remember. We cannot build peace on lies or forgetfulness. Earth's memory is a lesson for us all." The room fell silent. Leo took a deep breath and began to tell his story. Long ago, Earth was torn by war and hatred. We fought against ourselves and others. Our weapons were tools of destruction. But in the end, we realized that true strength came from within, from understanding and forgiveness. We created the silent pact to promise to remember every mistake, every pain, so we could choose peace. But the truth was too hard for many. So Earth withdrew, watching from the shadows, sending messengers like me when the time was right. I am one of those messengers. I carry the weight of our history so others may learn." The council listened, some with tears in their eyes. They saw a side of humans they never knew. Thaler's face was unreadable, but his voice was softer. "And now you have shown your weapon again. What is your choice, human?" Leo looked at Varelia and the council. "I can leave the academy. Or I can unlock Earth's memory for all to see." A heavy silence filled the room. Then Varelia spoke. "Let the galaxy see. Let us remember together." The council agreed to a gathering in the Interstellar Assembly Dome. It would be to all worlds. Leo prepared himself. He was no longer just a student. He was a messenger of Earth's past. That night, Varelia found Leo standing alone, holding his simple rod. "Are you ready?" she asked softly. Leo smiled gently. "The galaxy is ready to listen." The Interstellar Assembly Dome was enormous. Its glass walls shone with the light of 1,000 stars, and millions of beings from every corner of the galaxy watched the event live. The Great Hall was filled with leaders, students, and curious onlookers. All eyes were on Leo Kane and Princess Varelia as they stepped into the center. Leo carried his simple metal rod, the Sword of Earth. It looked plain compared to other weapons.
Ow.
But it held a power deeper than steel. The crowd was silent. Waiting, Leo took a deep breath and raised his sword. His movements were slow and flowing, like water moving around rocks. Each step, each swing, told a story, not of battle, but of memory. The sword moved like a brush painting pictures in the air. Suddenly, holographic images appeared above the dome. They showed Earth's history, wars, peace talks, heroes, and sacrifices. The galaxy saw the truth Earth had carried for centuries. There was no violence in the display, only lessons. Lessons of courage, forgiveness, and hope. Princess Varelia stood beside Leo, holding the Zenthropies emblem. She raised it high, a symbol of her people's trust and friendship with Earth. Other species followed, showing their own symbols of peace. The crowd cheered, a sound that echoed through the stars. Counselor Thaler, once stern and cold, now nodded in respect. "The galaxy remembers," he said quietly. Leo lowered his sword, a small smile on his face. For the first time, he felt the weight he carried become lighter. Varelia smiled at him. "You did it, Leo. You showed us who you truly are." Leo looked at the crowd and said, "This is not the end. It is the beginning. We all carry memories of pain and hope. Together we can build a future stronger than any weapon." The stars outside twinkled in agreement. The assembly ended with a new treaty, one not just of peace, but of memory and understanding. Earth was no longer forgotten. Story was part of the galaxy's future, and Leo Kane, he was no longer the silent human. He was a messenger of hope, a living symbol that strength comes from within.